The perfect trading robot for Darwinex does exist, and you will see how I receive allocation every month with very steady performance. Finding this robot took me over a year. I've recorded so many videos about Darwinex. In some I showed that I was able to withdraw profits, in others how robots blew my accounts, but I didn't give up, and a few months ago I placed the vigorous EA on one of my Darwinex Zero accounts. It's set and forget EA, and I connected it to FX Blue. I checked the performance from time to time, but I didn't actually log into my Darwinex account for a few months. But when I did, I was very pleasantly surprised to see that I'd received allocation every month. Now let me show you my Darwinex account. You will see that I have a very steady return. It is actually 9.88%, or that's nearly 10%. The max drawdown is 3.16%, and I received 90k allocation. And the reason I was pleasantly surprised is because I was checking the FX Blue track record, this one over here, and I didn't see a profit above 10%. Actually, I see 8.3% in the accounts. And I have other accounts where I reach 10% much faster. For example, I will show you this account over here where I have a mix of expert advisors, and this portfolio actually reached in the Darwinex account very rapidly $13,000 or 13% back in October, and still I didn't receive allocation. So I thought, okay, that's not enough, like 10% is not enough for Darwinex, I need more for longer. But it turned out that they are really looking for steady and slow growth, and that's what exactly I see in this account with the vigorous, and I assume this is exactly the reason why they gave me allocation every month and every month. And I'm actually recording this video on the 31st of January, so I assume I will receive another allocation because my rating is 78.12 and the guarantee allocation rating is 75. Now in this account I am with an yearly subscription. If I'm not wrong, I'll just switch to it. Yeah, that's my yearly subscription. And for the beginners, this means that I paid 405 euro to have this account for 1 year. The 100,000 euro I'm trading with. On top of that, I received the allocation, but what I want to do is actually I want to receive the permanent allocation, which means that I will have another 100,000 euro permanently. And how I can get that is with an additional cost of 145 euro if I reach 20%, 200 euro for 15%, 295 euro for 10%, and 495 euro for 5%. I'm planning to get this 200 euro with 15%, which means that from the moment I purchase the permanent allocation, I will need to reach another 15% before it is unlocked in my account. But looking at that steady performance, I am quite confident with the vigorous EA because it didn't have huge drawdowns. So now I'll go to payments and I'll go to allocations, and here you will see that from the 90k I've made a profit of 2,447.82 euro, and 15% out of that is 367.17 euro. Oh, this is how much you can withdraw at the end of the day from the profits you've made, and I explained in many videos why it is 15%. I'll leave a link down below in the description if you want to learn more about the payout. But right now I'll click on I want it, and I will go for that plan, which costs 200 euro, and I will continue to payment. I will pay it, and here it is. The payment was successful. Now if you are just starting out and you have a good expert advisor or a strategy and you want the permanent allocation, check out the 3-year plan, because this permanent allocation is actually included inside. I already bought the 1 year, that is why I will just add permanent allocation. But for any future accounts where I'll be trading the vigorous or similar EAs, I would prefer to start with the 3-year plan so I get the permanent allocation included. Now when I said the vigorous, keep in mind that if you decide to trade the same EA, you might get correlated with my account. So how you can avoid that? Right on my Darwin, if I click on correlation, I can see that my account is not correlated with any other account. Anything below 0.7 is good enough. So if I show you now right here, the VPS where I am trading the Vigorous, you will see that I am trading only this expert advisor, this account. And there are actually two things you can do. One is you can randomize the entries, or two, you can combine the Vigorous EA with another EA. And if you have seen the video where I interviewed the vendor, you know that with his latest EA that is called Powerhouse EA, you can trade a few expert advisors in one account or from one expert advisor. So pretty much the Powerhouse EA combines the Vigorous, the Ranger on two currency pairs, CBK, Sharpshooter, Crackerjack, and EVA. So to avoid the correlation, you can actually combine Vigorous EA with EVA or Vigorous EA with Sharpshooter, Ranger, any combination that you want to try. And this way you will have different performance from all the other traders in Darwinex. The other thing you can do is to randomize the entry price, which I've done for that account. So here it should be true from the settings, and you can randomize between 5, and by default it was 50, but I decided to lower it to 20 points because these are scalpers and I don't want to randomize the entries a lot, just to make them different from the other users that will be trading the same expert advisor. So one more time, in this Darwinex account, I am trading just the Vigorous alone, and I was really surprised to see that I received allocation 3 times, even without reaching 10% profit. And I'm already preparing a few more Darwinex accounts where I'll be combining the Vigorous EA with other EAs from the Powerhouse EA, which actually combines all of the vendors, expert advisors. And the reason I believe I received this allocation is because if I show you the Darwin risk, you will see that it is close to 1. It is 0.94. Now, if you are trading too risky, like the other account I showed you where I reached 10% in the first 1 month, the Darwinex engine will lower the risk, and actually it will execute fewer lots on the Darwin compared to what you have on MetaTrader. Now, if you go with a very low risk in your MetaTrader, the Darwinex engine will actually increase the risk because they want to make it equal for everybody. And this expert advisor is just very close to what they're looking for in terms of risk and return. One more time, steady performance every month. You can see that even lately it got even slower, but still I received the allocation, and I'll see if I get it this month as well. Now guys, if you want to see the interview with the vendor from these steady EAs, I can say check out the video on my side. It was quite an interesting experience for me. Until then, I love you, trade safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!